All right, I got the RV60 set up. I'm gonna try to throw down some of this. Figure it's about time. I tried to wait until right around July 4th, but the way this has been with our basically we're on the borderline of a drought here right now in Connecticut. So I wanted to just make sure that, let me get it down before I'm fighting to try and get it watered in enough and the lawn gets too stressed for me to do much with it. So I'm gonna put it down today. It's a little hot out now. Like I said, I just mowed at 4 inches. So it's ready to go, and we'll see if anything happens tonight with rain, so be it. If not, I will be out here in the morning watering, which I'm gonna go ahead and throw you a review of that sprinkler as well, let you know how it's been working for me. As you know, in my last vid, I love this spreader. It's got that one little tiny item with the agitator I'm trying to figure out, but you know what? It's more of a nuisance than anything. I mean, I, again, haven't met a spreader that hasn't been able to give me a throw right down to the bottom. I know Lesco said, again, you can get that aftermarket agitator that really helps, but even that, I can imagine if you got a big enough prill, it's gonna have some difficulty getting everything out of the chute. I got a couple ideas I'm working on with that, but you know, more to come on that later. Right now, I really just want to get this product down so that I can call it a day here, let the sun do its thing, keep beating on things, then I can come back and water. So, I'll go ahead and show you what we got here. This is the STX, and you can see prill sizes on that one. It's definitely a lot smaller than a Carbon X, and it's not round at all. It's definitely, you know, rough edges like little pebbles. It almost, you know, it kind of reminds me almost like a larger version of the Disease X with that light brown granule that it's got those really rough edges on it, but it's very light. So that's exactly what this is. Let's go ahead and we'll get it in the bucket. I'll put you back up here for a second. There we go. The other good thing about this is the hopper is really wide at the top, so you don't have to feel like you're trying to hold it too nicely or just at the right angle. You don't want to get any overspill. I mean, you just dump it right in. It takes it pretty well. I mean, there's so much room at the top of this. I love it. You can see there. I mean, that's just, it's huge at the mouth. So, all right, what do we got here? STX 4025. Look at our spreader settings. 3 pounds per 1,000. It's showing here Scott's at a 6 for all of them. Earthways at a 17 3/4. Lesco at a 16. Let's see. And that gives you 3/4 pound of K per 1,000. And then it tells you right here, where are we looking? Right there in the third sentence. For all applications, apply to dry foliage, then water in. Well, I don't think you're gonna get much drier than this, because I was kicking up dust while I was mowing some of those wood line edges. So then it says 0.2 inches of water minimum to move the particles into the canopy. Do not collect clippings for at least one mowing. Do not apply near the storm drains or drain ditches. Do not apply if heavy rain is expected, which, yeah, I'm not buying into any rain today. Product contains water-soluble iron, and it will stain. So keep it away from surfaces like driveways, sidewalks, all that other good stuff. We'll come back here to our settings. Let's see here. I already set it to the 6. Opens it up pretty wide, but like I said, when I was doing the Ironite, it was asking me to do it at 4, or at, I think it was something that's like 3 or 3.5. I ended up jumping to 4 to get this to open up. Ironite had huge prills. I mean, it was like throwing marbles out, so it didn't really go out very far. This one's gonna be at a 6. I've already given you the review on how this throws, so I'm not gonna throw a lot of videos of you watch me go back and forth across my lawn. But I am gonna be using this, again, with the iron in there. That's gonna come in handy just to keep everything down. Like I said, it pops itself right in place, and it comes down easy for what I need it to do. So we're gonna go ahead and chuck it down and see how it does. Outline pass. So I'm gonna flip that up. We're going to, I really want to show you one thing quick with this RB60 is figure one-handed. See how well it does. So I can hold the phone as best I can. I really do like this spreader. It does an awesome job. All right, let me finish up here because it's friggin' hot. Afternoon. So video I'm about to post before talked about this Melnor, the 9610 here, the tripod sprinkler that, again, I really like. It was working great, but I had one issue with the sprinkler head on it, and it didn't seem like it just wanted to turn all the way. So it was actually doing for me, and you'll see it's a different one here, but I have the old head right here. This guy, for whatever reason, did not like to do a return. So it would spin out, it would pass, and it seemed like it did it pretty fast. I mean, it was like whipping around. You'll see that on the video. But it would whip itself around, and when it was time to come back and do its chatter, it would stick, it would jump, it would stick some more, and then when it hit the trip, it would just kind of sit there for a minute, and then all of a sudden pop over and then flip back again. Just super inconsistent. I don't know if it was a problem with the head. I assume it had to have been because, again, when I pulled this off, issue went completely away when I traded it out. So what I actually did here is I took my old spike sprinkler and I popped the head off of that one. This one's a lot heavier. I don't know, different brand, just better manufacturer, I guess. It's just heavier all around. Seems like it's a better quality. I hooked this one up. It was able just to pop right off and mount in. I changed the gaskets on it. But this one, no issues whatsoever, as you'll see in the video when I post. Shoots just as far and does just as good. So again, probably could have just bought myself a sprinkler tripod. I don't think you can get them without just the heads, but still a worthwhile investment. Again, it was $40 at Home Depot, and it really has cut down on my moves in terms of watering. I'm able to just kind of hit the whole area here down there. I think I probably do, if I do the whole yard, it's probably 5 moves, but I can hit areas where I was doing 2 or 3 in one shot, because I can hit the 360 on this and just let it keep going around and just nail the whole front yard in one shot, which is real awesome, especially this time of year, because for whatever reason, it just isn't going to rain. I'm still waiting. They're saying tomorrow. I doubt it's going to happen. But I was able to get some of the STX DIY down last night. I did a quick cut at 4 inches, put down the STX DIY, put it down at the bag rate. So I had the echo down set to a 6, spread really even, got everything out, covered exactly what I needed to cover. I'm at 22,000 square feet total since I measured this all with the wheel, but again, where all the wood lines are, and then I've got an area up here that I'm working on renovating this fall. So honestly, I work at about 15,000 square feet right now, because that's a good 5+ over there, plus the little edges. Got the bag down, everything went in perfect, and then started doing the sprinkling last night. Finished this morning. I shouldn't say last night. I did it in dust time, evening. Got that taken care of. Dealt with the head issues and walked through. I had to keep coming down and checking it every 20 minutes, so just to make sure it was still moving around and it wasn't sticking. But I got down the 1/2 inch that I needed to water that in. Came out this morning, flipped the head on that. Super excited that I did that, because it was well worth it. I'm glad I didn't just chuck that in the garbage, which is part of DIY, right? You just hold on to things, and then when you get rid of them a week later, you need it. Go figure. But for being in Connecticut towards the end of June here and having some green grass compared to a lot of other people, I can't complain. And I did actually notice in some of my other videos that even though this right here, almost looks like crabgrass is coming all in at the end, but there is no crab here. This is just the simple fact that I haven't really done anything to grow here or keep this trimmed out. So it's just super long. I've just kind of let it lay over to see if it can reach itself out. I know it doesn't extend, it doesn't grow that way, but you know, this will all get filled in eventually. But it's funny when you look at it from a distance, it almost looks like I have some kind of light green crabgrass line going, but that's just not the case. You know, everything over here was overseeded. I did this in part of the front about 5 years ago, and I used back then, it was the Agway Connecticut, the CT Sun and Shade mix is what they had out there. So I put down a couple bags of that. And it filled in real nice, but I really want to make sure that the whole lawn is kind of blended. I'm not clearing out this whole thing. It's an established lawn. But if I do some slit seeding and I use the GCI TTTF blend and I get it everywhere, because there are some spaces here. If you put it up in the drone, you can see where all the gaps are. Probably why I haven't done any drone shots yet, just because it kind of looks embarrassing to see those little dead spots. And then up on the hill, do the heavy seed. I'll be in really good shape and a nice, you know, some consistency will come throughout the rest of the lawn. But no, I just wanted to put that out there. I know I talked about that sprinkler in my other review, but I really just wanted to make sure everybody was aware. You know, it could have just been a dud with the sprinkler head, but at the end of the day, what I was able to swap it out with a quick 2-minute job made all the difference in the world. So again, I wish I could remember the name of this head and where I got it from. I can't remember if it's an Orbit or a Melnor or a Gilmore. I couldn't tell you what brand, this Rainbird, but it was just your standard typical spike sprinkler that you were able to connect to other ones, and the spike on it had actually developed a crack, so it was just pouring water out. But since I dropped this in here, it's firing on all cylinders. So no complaints, everything works, and there we go. So hopefully I'll catch you later in probably, I don't know, a couple days maybe. But as you can see, I just put down, like I said, the STX is over here, letting it do its thing. We'll see how it turns out in a couple of days. If it greens up a little bit more, just hopefully we get a little bit of rain. All right, have a good